Hello, my paranormal peeps, and welcome back to another Deep Woods Paranormal Podcast. My name is Matt Harvey. I am the host of the Deep Woods Paranormal Podcast, and also the lead investigator and founder of Deep Woods Paranormal. Today, basically, I'm opening up the office so you guys can see where we work and what everything looks like. We have one banner up here on this side, to my left shoulder. And then we have another one wrapped up here. This is the one we take for our events. Also, why is that shaking? Everything's just shaking all of a sudden. Okay, that's really weird that everything's just shaking. I'm not touching anything, so I don't know why that's shaking. All right, so also then we have some haunted dolls back to my left side here. Why is this shaking so bad? Anyways, so yeah, we investigate everything paranormal, including Bigfoot, UFOs, ghosts, haunted locations, demonic activity. We help people in their homes. We also go out and look for UFOs and cryptid creatures and all kinds of other stuff. Did you guys just see the shadow back there in the doorway? We've had a lot of activity in the house lately. We're in the process of we've ordered some new gear. And behind me, these dolls, the two, not the Raggedy Ann doll. I don't think the Raggedy Ann doll has an attachment. I bought her brand new, but the two dolls next to her seem to have some kind of energy to them. And then there's other haunted objects on the table back there. We'll one of these days we'll do a video in the office. Like I said, I just ordered some new equipment. So let me share my screen with you guys. Okay. No, I don't want that. So we ordered a Tesla coil. And if you don't know what a Tesla coil is, it's basically it's a device that basically puts out electricity. It's like an EM pump, but it's just cooler. If you're watching the video podcast on our Rumble page or on our YouTube channel, or even on Facebook, you can see it kind of throws off a bunch of bolts of electricity. And the whole theory behind this, remember, everything we do is just theory. We come up with hypotheses of what we think is going on, and then we attempt to gather data with that hypothesis. And then, either that hypothesis is completely wrong, or it's partially right, or it's right. And we document whatever. We get some voices, we get all kinds of cool stuff. Sometimes we get apparitions, sometimes we get other things happening, things talking through boxes and stuff. And we'll talk about that in just a second here. But anyways, it's basically it's sitting on a platform, raised up about, I would say 2 or 3 inches, maybe a little further. So the little bolts of electricity don't actually hit around anywhere else that they're not supposed to, but you can make it go further. I believe that these used to have a globe around them. I mean, you could take your fingers and you could put it around the globe. This is back in the 80s and 90s, and it would follow your fingers and stuff like that. You could feel the electricity in the air. It's not going to shock you or kill you, I don't believe, unless it gets overwhelmingly charged by something, which I would hope that wouldn't happen. But you can see here, this guy's got a light bulb, and he basically put it out close to the Tesla coil, and it's actually lighting up. So that's pretty cool. He does have kind of a shield there. I think that's just a cardboard box, to be honest with you. I don't know how much protection that would give you. But anyways, as he's sticking that out, the light bulb is actually lighting up, which is really cool. So you can just see it just goes in different, zaps out in different ways. It's almost like lightning bolts, just real short 3 or 4 inch lightning bolts that come off this thing. Here he has, looks like a wooden stick with some kind of metal attached to it. And it's basically the electric charge is leaping from the head of the, I don't want to be careful how I say this, from the head of the Tesla coil onto this piece of metal or whatever he has. So, and then this is what it looks like, and regularly. So I think it just takes a couple of AA batteries. This should be here hopefully by next weekend, I'm hoping. And so something else that we bought. Now this is oops.
Huh?
Okay. So this is the Ghost Box Portal All-in-One 2023. This is not the actual. I don't think this is the newer model. He's just recently put together the newer model. I'm not going to go back into that. If you guys want to see that, let me know. I will talk to you about this. I can talk to you about this in private, or I can talk to you, via email, whatever. Just remember that all of our information is down below in the description. All of the links I'm going to basically show you tonight are all down in the description. Either it doesn't matter what platform you're on or what video platform you're on, it's there. If you guys can do me a favor while you're kind of listening to me chit chat, do me a favor, hit that like button and please subscribe to our channel. Whether you're on the audio podcast or the video podcast, you can like and subscribe. And then if you want to, hit that notification bell. I try and post podcasts 4 to 5 times a week right now, if not more. I'm working on a dog man podcast, and I'll show you guys some stuff in just a minute here. We're revamping the podcast information and stuff like that. I've been working on it for like 6 hours now, just trying to get it done, and I haven't even done this podcast is getting done at almost midnight. I keep burning the midnight oil, and unfortunately it's at the cost of hanging out with Amanda and chilling. So anyways, but we love you guys, and we really love that you guys love the show. Thank you guys for all the nice comments you've been sending lately. We really appreciate all the positive feedback, and even the positive criticism. Constructive criticism, I should say. We're trying to make changes to things that you guys are saying, hey, try this, or hey, I didn't really like this. So we're going to remove that from the channel and stuff like that. Another thing somebody asked is, can we see your office? And so, yeah, you can see behind me, you can see the office. We did a Facebook Live the other day where I did a whole Bigfoot podcast and essentially I found out later that it was that didn't record for whatever reason. Went to go, I turned off the Facebook Live and went back to the platform I was recording it on, and nothing was there. So, with the paranormal, anything can happen. I mean, this happens all the time. I'll always expect things to go wrong with the paranormal. Okay, so let's listen to him. This is the Ghost Box Portal All-in-One 2023. It's going to look a little different than this, I hope. I've been told that he corrected a few things, but this is like a spirit box without the annoying noise. When it first turns on, yes, it does that. And I was just listening to him. I'm not going to play the whole first minute and 53 seconds of this video because I don't really care about that. I don't think you guys want to listen to that, but I do want to hear what it does. And we are going to do extensive testing on this. Like I said, I've got the haunted dolls and haunted objects just basically straight behind me, just below that dartboard back there. And I saw a shadow earlier, very tall shadow, to be honest with you, about as tall as the top of the door, which is taller than me, kind of duck around the corner there. Amanda thought she heard the garage door open. It's locked. That door is locked. I went and pulled on it, and no, didn't open or shut. And then we've had a lot of weird things happen. If you look up over my right shoulder, which is your left side, by where it says Deepwood, the Deepwood's banner is hanging on the wall, there's a video camera up there, and I don't want to get into too much detail, but it's been recording basically nonstop for the last, I don't even know, month or 2 months. And I've got some interesting things. Or there's video where there's nothing. We'll do a whole video on this. We'll review the video, and it's just weird. I don't know what's going on or why. There's it says person detected, and there's nobody there. Now I've been checking it on my phone, and that's a very small, area. It's 3.5 by 8 or whatever. So it's a small screen. And we all, basically we all live off our cell phones now. But I can't really see the video very well. So I'm going to put it on my computer and take a look at it there. And we'll go through that. Maybe we'll go through that on the podcast if you guys want to, if you want to watch the video. More than likely, I'm just going to do it as a standalone video. And you guys can go through and watch that. And I'll post that to YouTube and also Rumble if you guys are interested in that. We're starting to get a good size following over on Rumble. We've only been there for about 3 or 4 months. I'm learning how to use that platform. I'm mostly learning how to use YouTube, to be honest with you. I've been getting crash courses and people telling me, hey, you need to fix this. You need to fix that. Try this. Hey, do this. So little by little, I'm figuring it out after 20 years, 30 years, something of having YouTube. Anyways, so this account, we're trying to grow this YouTube account. Okay, so let's watch him real quick and then we'll move on to the next subject.
Where will you go?
Where you go?
Embarrassing discovered what you never did.
There are a couple of ones through there, but you can't return it down.
It was.
Well, how's that? Everybody? Turn the volume down there, and that's the new STD Mark IV Plus Adjust Ghost Box from STD. There you go. You see it working? Dead simple. Okay, bye.
All right. So what I like about this is that essentially it's move the mic out of the way here. Essentially, it does what the Ghost Box does, or Spirit Box, I should say, does, without all the crap, without the constant noise of that. Now, he was not asking any questions, and I don't know if where he's at in his shop or whatever, if he actually has any paranormal activity going on. He's I don't know if he's a paranormal investigator. I don't know much about this gentleman, but this is the gentleman I did buy this from. So I was really excited to get this from him. And we'll do a full review on it once we get it. Let me see something there. Let me see if I can find a newer version of it. Just bear with me. I'm just doing a Google search. Here it is. All right, so this is what it looks like, supposedly. If you're watching the video podcast, you can see it looks a little different. It's got lights on the front. It's got a bigger speaker. Doesn't have the switches on the side. It has the toggles only, as he calls it. But it lights up too, which is kind of cool. And just tells you how everything works. It has some reverb, and then basically you can change it, so you can choose how fast it scrolls. You don't have to sit there and listen to it go through its whole thing. So yeah, I mean, this looks like a much better piece of gear. I can't find anything on this particular box, so I'm gonna just show you this. Okay, so we've gone through all this. All right, let me close this. And if you're curious as to where I got that, I got off FC. All right, so let's move on. I don't want to talk about that quite yet. So we got the Tesla coil and we got the Ghost Box, or the Ghost Box portal coming soon. Hopefully we'll have it by the end of the week. So Amanda and I are going to go out and possibly do some Bigfoot research next weekend. And then also we're going to do some ghost hunting in the office itself. See if the kids want to come through. We do have a bunch of little kid spirits here, which I'm sorry to say we've invited in. I know they're, after doing this for 30 years, I know what a good spirit is, what is not a good spirit. And there's people sitting there going, slapping their forehead and rolling their eyes and going, well, how do you know that? Because I've been doing this so long, And I'll talk to you about that in just a minute here. I've lived with the paranormal my whole life. And at this point, I pretty much know what's what. Let me refresh this. There we go. All right. So what we did, I wanted to show you. I'm not here to show you our Rumble page, but this is our Rumble page. If you're interested, to come on over here and go ahead and sign up and follow us. Give us a like on here on our videos, and then feel free to leave a comment. Be nice. If you didn't like the video, just tell us what you didn't like. If you like the video, like a lot of people have been doing, they've been sending us messages. Send us a message. Hey, really like the way you did this. Give us some feedback. I really like this portion of the video, or I really like this, or I'd like to hear about this, or I'd like to see this, or I want to know about this. That's what we do. We investigate everything paranormal. So if you're interested in doing that, come on, go ahead and send us a message. I'll show our website too. You can leave us a message there too. We've had quite a few people messaging us through the website, which is awesome. We love to interact with people. All right. So essentially, I've changed the look of some of the podcast pictures. We still have the Deep Woods Paranormal Podcast regular logo with the little ghost and the gravestone and stuff like that. But each podcast now is going to have its own picture. So you won't just have the graveyard here. Instead, you're going to have like the Bigfoot only podcast. You'll have the paranormal news podcast. I changed the cryptid creature podcast picture because I felt like the one I had was a little bit childish. This one's a little creepier, and it kind of looks a lot like the other ones. And then I changed the paranormal podcast, the Anything Goes Paranormal Podcast, just to the paranormal podcast, because on this podcast, that's what this one is. This is the paranormal podcast, Anything Goes Paranormal Podcast. I don't need to call it that. On this podcast, we talk about anything paranormal. We interview people. We talk to people about their stories, about their accounts of what has happened, and get information from them. So the Cryptid Creature podcast now and the Paranormal Anything Goes podcast, I've changed the pictures. So if you're looking for things, if you're just scrolling through, you can actually see now what this is. And I think it's a little clearer and a little bit more professional. So again, this is just kind of some housekeeping, but we've got quite a few videos here and stuff like that. So if like I said, if you can see all the thumbs up, this is great. We love this. And we'll have to look and see why somebody left a thumbs down. Maybe they left us some feedback. But if you're going to leave a thumbs down, leave us some feedback. But be nice. Just give us some critical feedback. What didn't you like? What would you have liked to hear better? Was it the damn dog? Oh, excuse me. The darn dog bark in the background. I'm sorry. I've got 5 of them. They get excited. Anytime we move, they go absolutely nuts. They're just full of energy. So they're just very spoiled and very, very loved. So anyways, I apologize for the dogs if that's the problem that you're experiencing. I try and keep them as calm as possible. I can't close the door because you'll have 5 dogs scratching on the door and a cat or 2 cats trying to get in the whole time I'm doing the podcast. And it's very distracting. So anyways, yeah, this is our Rumble page, but I just wanted to show you guys the different pictures that we've posted. And then over on our YouTube channel, they haven't transformed. They haven't come over here yet, but I will be doing this as well with the YouTube channel and stuff like that. So we have multiple playlists. We have the paranormal podcasts. We have the audio only. If you see the box, the white box with our other logo, the ghost with the graveyard in the background, and it has all the little like wave lines on the bottom, that's the podcast is the only audio only. So you're only going to hear me talk if you're on our YouTube platform. On the Rumble platform, that we don't have that. It won't transfer over there, but it does transfer automatically every time I do a podcast over here to the YouTube channel. So, and then there's the video. You'll have what you'll have is 2 podcasts come out video wise for a day. You'll have the audio podcast only come out on our YouTube channel. And then you'll have the video podcast where you can actually see me going through and showing you different websites and stuff like that. If you're on one of our audio platforms and you'd like to come over here and see the video, don't worry. The links are down below in the description down here. So you guys can scroll down and everything's there. I'll show you in just a second here. Let me move over to our. So this is what our speaker iHeartRadio page looks like. This is our home base. This is where we basically record our podcast to. But we're on about 60 different platforms. So wherever you get your podcast from, we're there. If you're listening on somebody else's podcast, on somebody else's phone or something. All right. So as you can see, if you look at the description, come through here and basically just have a little bit of information about us. And then down here, I basically have my email and my cell phone number. So you can call or text me. And then if you scroll down further, we have our podcast, which is basically where I'm at now, our website, our podcast website, which is also our Deep Woods Paranormal page, our website. You can buy us a coffee. I'll talk about that briefly in just a second. Manscaped, great place to get some cool products for, I think, both guys and girls. It's called Manscaped, but the product, I'll kind of talk about the products in a second. I mean, my wife uses some of the stuff that I got from them to demo. Anyways, so Facebook, if you want to follow us on Facebook, we post a lot of content over there, and we have our group over there and our Deep Woods Paranormal page. So you can go there. Twitter, we're on Twitter, YouTube, of course, Rumble, TikTok, we're on TikTok. And then we're also on LinkedIn and then Instagram. So if you want to come over here and find us, and then if you come down here under where I have all of the tags for everything in between there and the hashtags down below, you'll see links to sources. And basically there'll be links that you can click on to go find the websites that I was talking about, reading off of, or talking off of, or whatever you want to call it. And then all of our podcasts are here. If you click on them, you can see now there's a new picture over here. It's not just our normal little black box with the ghost in the graveyard. It'll actually tell you Bigfoot only, or it'll say Cryptid podcast, or it'll say Paranormal Podcast, because I don't want it to be anything goes anymore. But essentially, I mean, you'll have cryptid creatures, you'll have paranormal news. Since Amanda's not really able to do her podcast right now, I'm going to be adding in a Dogman podcast, where I only pretty much talk about Dogman activity. Dogman is very interesting to me. I do think that sometimes they're misidentified as Bigfoot as Dogman, and they're really a Bigfoot. But like I said, I've never had an experience with a Dogman that I know of. I've had a lot of Bigfoot encounters and sightings. I always say you have to have an encounter where you can say it could be anything else, and I'm not going to go on with that because I say it a million times. Anyways, so yeah, if you want to come on here, here's all our audio podcasts. If you want to listen somewhere else, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google, Good Pods, Castbox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Jivo San, which I believe is an Indian podcast. I think we're on an Irish one as well. So we're on so many platforms. I don't even know them all. We're also on Amazon, or we're supposed to be on Amazon. So you guys can go over there. Do me a favor, though. If you're on one of our audio podcast platforms and you want to leave us a message, do me a favor and just take the time to come over to our website, or send me an email, or send me a text. I don't mind. I'm up all hours of the night. I'm kind of a creature of the night. I'm always out working. I work the graveyard shift at work. So I'm out till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning sometimes, and I got to bed around 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning sometimes. So, anyways, this is all our information. I'm just trying to basically show people where everything is because people keep asking me. So I just want to give you guys a quick tutorial, and then if you come over here, this is our website, and the link again is in the description below. This is the deepwoodsparanormal.com. This is like a one-stop shop for everything. I've gone through this a million times, but you can go through. Deep Woods Productions is basically going to be Amanda and I, and actually some other people, working to put shows together. We're in the process of putting together a Bigfoot show. It'll be a cross between Expedition Unknown, Finding Bigfoot, and then we're going to put our own spin on it. We're going to be camping in places where there's Bigfoot activity and stuff like that. So, anyways, you can find our podcast here. Again, you can see all the different pictures. If you're watching this, if you're listening, don't worry. You can click on the link, come here. You can see the Bigfoot only, the paranormal news, the cryptid creatures, and then you have the paranormal podcast, which is basically just, not a non-specific type of podcast where we just talk about anything paranormal. Maybe we talk to a witness, or we just kind of jaw on like I am right now. So be looking for the Dogman podcast. That'll probably come out maybe next week. In the process of setting that up. I want to have 5 podcasts, five days a week. And sooner or later, we might actually put in like a UFO podcast and stuff like that. So, all right, I told you about Manscaped. This is a really cool company. They sent me a bunch of really nice stuff to try out. I do use the boxers. I have the t-shirt. They're both very, very comfortable. I would highly recommend them if you need some boxers for guys or girls. I know it says men's, but I mean, you ladies can use this stuff too. This shaver right here, I should have brought it in here with me. The shaver here is amazing. Very sharp, does not really have any issues with hair getting caught or anything like that. And it seems very smooth. The nose hair trimmers, as you can see, in my ears and stuff. Amanda was telling me earlier, hey, you don't have any hair sticking out of your ears. Well, I seem to have lost it. It seems to be growing out of my head, into my ears, into my nose, and onto my back, and in other places that should be growing. So anyways, too much information. But they gave me some deodorant for down there, and a couple other things. So I will be, little by little, I'll be talking about these on almost every podcast. So if you want to come over here and basically buy something, doesn't matter if it's something I'm showing you or something else, put in the when you go to checkout, put in DWP, and they'll get you a discount. It's a discount code. Okay. And it'll save you a little bit of money. Okay. Let me just accept this. So yeah, I mean, great place. Here's the razor. Really liked it. This is actually for beards. I use mine. I have the other one. I have the lawnmower. So I use this, and I also use the weed whacker. Those products are both really, really good. And then I'd like to get the beard kit one of these days. I'll probably have to pick that up. But this is what I have. I have the Performance Package 4.0. Essentially, it's the crop preserver. It's the razor. It does come with a couple attachments for you to use. And it also has the nose hair trimmer and the crop preserver, which is basically just, it's just deodorant for down there. So really like this combo. They sent me a little travel kit too. They sent me some boxers and a t-shirt, which I was really grateful for. Really like it. You can click on here if you want to shop on it now. I would highly recommend them. I've been using them for a while and really like them. Anyways, I'm jawing on. All right. If you want to help us out and help us continue to buy new gear and stuff like that, I know everybody's in kind of a tight situation right now, or most people are. So again, we just appreciate the heck out of you guys. Thank you so much for helping us out as you have by liking and subscribing to our channels. And I say channels with plural. Thank you for giving us a thumbs up and hitting the notification bell so you can see when we're coming, going to be on. And we're going to be doing more lives. I got to try and get to the point where we're doing more lives. I think next weekend, I don't know where we're going yet or where we're going to be doing, but Amanda and I were talking about going out and doing some kind of hike somewhere into Bigfoot territory to see what we can see and go from there, depending on what the weather does. The weather is supposed to be kind of cold next weekend, which might be great for a hike. Anyways, so if you want to buy us a coffee, we really appreciate it. You can buy us anywhere from one to any number you want. They're about they're $3 a pop and $3 a contribution. And then basically what we're trying to do is, as you see, we bought some gear earlier. We're trying to upgrade our night vision cameras to take into the forest to do Bigfoot research. So that's what this $2,000 goal is. The camera is right around $2,000, maybe a little bit more. So we're trying to get that. And then, like I said before on the Bigfoot only podcast, we're looking for sponsors. We will be looking for sponsors for the show. I'm in the process of working with other producers, and we're in talks of how we're going to do the show and what all is going to be needed. Right now, it's in the brainstorming mode. We're in the process of sitting down and trying to, talk out ideas and make sure everybody's on the same page and stuff like that. It's going to take a little bit before it basically gets done. And then I'm also helping him with a movie, which is awesome. So, and then don't forget the events coming up. We have an event in May where we're going to be doing 3 weekends at a Bigfoot conference in San Antonio, Texas. We'd love to see you guys out there. Going to be a fun event. There's going to be speakers and games, and it's going to be like a carnival, but you'll also have the paranormal side of it where you can come meet us and other people, other paranormal investigators, and have a good time. So anyways, we'll have some apparel and everything for everybody to, basically get there. Okay, so let's move on. Okay. So Amanda and I had a heart-to-heart the other day because I've been physically attacked multiple times recently. And it's getting to the point where I'm just like, just get away from me. I don't know how many times I've said, I rebuke you, Satan, you need to go away. But we're going to use the D word. I've been plagued by a demon since we moved out of the house in College Station. I cleared myself. I saged the house. I did all kinds of things, but that thing was at my throat the whole time we were there. I mean, it slammed the door into me, pushed me, pulled me. I think I got scratched there too, and burned at one point. So yeah, not fun. Not fun living in a house with demonic activity. But I'm kind of a religious person. I don't talk about it out loud, but I am a religious person, and I'm not gonna, talk religion with you guys because I know we have people from all walks of life that, we have some people that are super religious that watch the show or listen to the show. And we have people that are completely non-religious. They just don't believe in it. And that's great too. Everybody has their own thing. Again, there's no judgments on this show, but I wanted to talk about signs of demonic attack. And if you think that you're under demonic attack, you should really take a good solid look at what I'm about to talk to you about and essentially take steps to try and relieve this, if you will. I don't know how many times I basically went and saged the hell out of this house the other day, did a cleansed the whole house, told the kids, just please stay out of the way. I don't want you getting hurt. And I don't want you leaving, but I got to get rid of this entity that seems to be messing with me. And I'm literally having my clothes pulled on. And this is not the kids. Some of it might be. I had a little kid it felt like a little kid the other day put their hand in mine as I was standing somewhere. And I've seen the little kids. I've actually seen them. And I know a lot of the time people say, that little kids are actually demons because um, they essentially use that to make, get your guard down and all this other stuff. But no, I don't think so. This is, the kids they're afraid of whatever this is. And I've actually seen the demonic entity now. I know exactly what he looks like and stuff like that. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to give him any credit or it any credit or whatever you want to call it. But okay, so anyways, let's get into this. It says 14 signs that demons are intruding. It says attacks in your dreams. So a lot of the time I've talked to many people about dreams. It's when you go to bed, you go to sleep, basically your brain shuts off. The only thing that's running is that frontal lobe in your head, and that's your subconscious. And its job is just to basically keep you alive throughout the night while your body essentially shuts down like 90% of the way. And so essentially our bodies have like electrical currents that run through them. Again, that's the whole reason I bought the Tesla coil, because if they can use that energy to manipulate things, then we possibly have something cool. Hopefully we'll be able to document it. But anyways, so again, this is all just theory, so take this all with a huge grain of salt. It's just me talking. You can make up your own mind. I'm not going to read this because it's kind of religious, and I don't want to go there. This is not a religious channel. We're not going there. I'm just going to read the signs, and then I'll talk about each one in my own way. If you'd like to come back here, you can read these things. And then, of course, we're always here to help. Like I said, my cell phone number, my email. You can go onto our website. On our website, let me go back to our website real quick. So if you click on the home button, you'll see a contact us pop up. And then basically you can type a message in here, and it'll come to me within about 15, 20 minutes, usually up to an hour sometimes. If I'm at work, I apologize. I won't get to it probably till the next day. If it's after hours, at that point in time, you should probably be calling me. If it's after like 9 or 10 o'clock at night, you probably want to be calling me on my cell. That's why my cell phone's on these platforms for you guys to use if you need it. I don't care if you're in Texas or some other place. If you need help, let me know. I'll do my best to help you, or I will try and find somebody to try and help you. There's a lot more demonic attacks going on right now. There's just a lot of people dealing with a lot of things, and as the world kind of gets crazier and crazier, people are having more and more issues and stuff like that. So anyways, this should actually just follow me wherever I go. Even if you're on our podcast page, it should pop up. And then there's where is it? There was a contact us page. Maybe it disappeared. I thought we had a contact us page. This is my wife and I. And drop this down. So this is us. I thought we had, okay, whatever. But anyway, so the contact us is here. Also, here it is. Contact us. So down below here, we're in Bryan, Texas. My cell number's here. Again, my email's here. All of our social links are here. And then basically you can come in here and put your information in, say hit send, which a lot of people have been doing lately, just asking questions and stuff like that. And we'll do the best we can to try and help you and answer your questions. You have to remember that the paranormal is just that way. It's hard to, I can't, every case is different. Every situation is different. Yeah, there's a lot of similarities, but there also is a lot of differences, and it's very complex. So, when we go into a home to help somebody, yeah, we may have similar things happening, but it may be for completely different reasons. And I'm not going to get into that right now. But anyway, so all of our information is here for you guys. If you ever need us, feel free to contact us. We can always help you find a team in your area if we have to help you out. And then, of course, if you're religious, you can always help. You get the help from the school. From the churches or other people Let me get back here. Okay. So I was talking about attacks in your dreams. So essentially what happens is you go to bed and your brain pretty much shuts down. Your physical body shuts down. It's like we're like computers. Once we once we go to sleep, it's like hitting the either the sleep button or turn off button, not really turn off, but the sleep button on our computer. Everything on the computer basically shuts down to an extent where it's just barely functioning. That way, if somebody tries to hack your computer or whatever, it basically keeps you safe. So our bodies are pretty similar. When we go to sleep, of course we dream. We basically, in the first little bit, when you first start to go into sleep, you go into that lighter sleep. That's when you start to dream. And then essentially go into what's called REM. What is it called? REM sleep or REM something. And then essentially at that point, you stop dreaming. And basically you're in a deep sleep. And basically that's when your body's almost completely shut down. Only thing going is your subconscious. Now remember, your subconscious does not record any memories. So when you wake up the next morning, or maybe you get up in the middle of the night or whatever, maybe you sleep for a couple hours and get up. I don't know, whatever your sleep pattern is. So you get up and you go, oh, that was a really weird dream. And I don't know why I remember this person, but I've never seen them before. Or I felt like I was fighting something the whole night. I felt uncomfortable. I felt afraid. That could be signs that you're being attacked. Because, like I said, your brain does not record that. It basically could just be a sign of, hey, something's going on. So mental oppression. Now, this doesn't mean you're crazy. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It just means that something has taken a liking to you. Maybe you're sensitive or a psychic or a medium or whatever. If you're like me, you don't really, I don't really use those senses very often. I know things are there, and I keep my mouth shut most of the time because most people look at you like, what the hell? You're nuts. But I'm going to scoot this camera back over just a little so I'm not so looking at my side. Keep an eye on that open door there because there seems to be some kind of shadowy figure. Maybe the kids are running around back there. So anyways, you might see something behind me. Oh, now it's freezing cold behind me. Yep, the kids they like it when I talk about them. They love to come on here. And if you're listening closely in between me talking, or sometimes they'll talk over me, or sometimes they'll talk as I talk, you'll hear voices. So those are, basically not me. I think Amanda's gone to bed. It's already after midnight. So the dog should be in bed with her. So there's nobody really running around right now. So it's pretty quiet in here. And of course, the camera's watching behind me as well. Nope, it's watching me. Okay. So it's just basically a motion sensor camera. It turns and follows any motion it sees, picks up on noises and stuff like that. It's a really good camera. That camera's picked up several things in this office. But this is like a safe room for the spirits. This is the only place we tell them they can go. And it's just the kids. We don't have any other spirits that I know of in here. I know there's attachments. There are things that have attachments. Like I said, I will go into stuff that might have attachments, and I just dropped that. I have no idea where that went. But I know things have attachments like this thing. This here, let me see if I can get this open. Okay. This here is an old razor. It's real. It does work. I've never used it. There are razors in here. But this sits up on my shelf. And essentially, actually, I'm going to put that back over where it belongs. With the rest of the stuff over there. So essentially, spirits possibly can be attached to things. And negative things can be attached to things too. Especially if you really like them in life. And stuff like that. So let's get back to mental oppression. So essentially, mental oppression usually starts out with the feeling of dread or unhappiness, or maybe you're in a bad situation and you're around somebody that just is really negative or really nags you out. Maybe you're in a situation where you are stuck, let's just say. I don't want to get into anything else with that, but you're in a bad situation and you're trying to get out of it. Um, Sometimes it's just you live in a great place and you have a great life, but something has just homed in on you and it's just messing with you. You'll hear like voices that are negative, telling you to do things that you shouldn't do. Like, oh, you just grab that candy bar. It's okay. Take it and put it in your pocket and then walk out of the store. Stuff like that. Um, Essentially, that's the kind of stuff that's mental oppression. Essentially, it makes you feel weak, makes you feel like you're not, um, up to par, if you will. A lot of the time, it basically trying to tear you down. Also, going back to sleep, it will try and affect your sleep as well. Usually, what happens with demonic activity, and this is just cases I've been on, and I've been on quite a few of them now. Usually, it starts with disturbing your sleep somehow, either scaring you in the middle of the night. Maybe the door pops open, maybe a drawer pops open, maybe you hear footsteps, maybe you hear somebody like walking in the attic above you, maybe you hear voices, basically that scare you. Maybe you hear like knocking. Maybe you see an apparition, and it's not just, it doesn't feel comfortable. It doesn't feel like it's good, if you will. Um, that kind of stuff happens at night for people that start. That's how it kind of starts, and then it says controlling negative emotions. Well, that doesn't mean you just had a bad day at work and you're super upset. And, basically, maybe you go and have a beer or something, or maybe you have a cigarette or whatever after work. That's not the kind of controlling negative emotions it's talking about. Essentially, it's talking about, what happens is these things just tear you down mentally, and they try and separate you from people that you care about. So what happens is over time, people will stop interacting with other people. They'll kind of wall themselves off, and they'll essentially just basically go into their own little world, essentially. And if that is allowed to continue, and this is not not every demonic case is like this, but a lot of them are. Um, things will start to happen. They'll start to react or act differently than they normally do. If you can't mentally control that, you need to seek help immediately. And it doesn't have to be like a therapist. You can go talk to a priest. You can call a paranormal investigator. It doesn't have to be us. Just reach out and get some help from somebody. Let them know what's going on. It can just be a friend that you trust. Tell them what's going on. Let them help you. Don't be afraid to reach out for help if you need it. Okay, so let's see. An intense desire for defiling things. Okay. This is, again, this is getting into religious stuff, and I don't want to get too much into that, but essentially saying that you start doing things that you normally wouldn't do. Essentially, maybe you're a non-drinker and you start drinking, or maybe you get into drugs. You start, messing around with drugs. Maybe you go out and go out with a woman who's not your wife or a girlfriend, or maybe you're single and you decide to go out and do something that you just shouldn't do. Well, I'm not going to say you shouldn't do, that you normally wouldn't do. Let's put it that way. And that's basically the start. And then basically after that, you just start to have feelings of hate for people, and you're not able to forgive people for making you angry and stuff like that. That could also be signs of demonic, attack. I've dealt with all of these things. I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't do any of that stuff. But essentially, these things try and manipulate you. They essentially try and get you to do things that you shouldn't do, hurt people, and stuff like that. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've said, "Get the hell away from me," or I've been physically harmed. Just messing with me, not letting me get dressed, pulling me, trying to push me, and not just trying to pushing me, moving things, stuff like that. So, anyways. This says you can't tame your tongue. Essentially, this means that um, you're able to speak in tongues. And by tongues, it just means that you're speaking a language that has not been spoken in a very, very long time. And essentially, the language you're speaking isn't really known to very many people anymore. And they're saying that basically it's kind of like a demonic thing. Again, I don't want to get into the religious side of things, but it says it's a clear indicator is when somebody has uncontrollable burst or rage, they can't stop cursing, gossiping, or blaspheming. Gossiping is, I don't think that's negative. I think that's just some people have to do that to get their energy out. But yeah, it says sexual perversion. I kind of talked about that a little bit. Basically, it's just doing sexual acts that you normally wouldn't do. So you're currently involved in the occult. Now, I'm a paranormal investigator. People, might say, well, Matt, you kind of are in the cult. And in a way, I kind of am. I've been doing this for close to 30 years professionally, if you will. But I'm under control. I know what I'm doing. I am always careful. I always put people's safety first. But it's, if you're a religious person, I completely understand your point of view. If you're a non-religious person, I completely understand your point of view. If you're somewhere in the middle, I completely understand what you're talking about. I was raised in a very Catholic house. Did a lot of Bible studies as a kid. As I got older, I couldn't read the Bible anymore because every time I picked up the Bible and started to read either in my head or out loud or to somebody else, I got interrupted. Somebody would burst into the room, something would happen, I'd get a phone call, something always happened. It always stopped me from doing it. So, being involved in the cult, I mean, I think this kind of saying that you're part of some kind of group that is doing something bad either to somebody else or doing something bad. And again, you guys, you're probably adults. You can use your own judgment on what that is. And if you have kids, I mean, you're in control of them. I'm not, not going to get into that. False religion. Again, I'm going to kind of skip over that. If you're religious, you know exactly what I'm talking about there. Chronic sickness. This is something that happens in demonic cases. People get sick. They get cancer. They get other diseases out of nowhere usually. And, it's because they went to a place that had negative energy, and whether they intended to go into that location or not, they brought back something that they, is basically zapping them of their energy and is manipulating their body in such a way to make them sick. That can involve throwing up, headaches, just feeling really tired, having your energy drained. And that can go with ghosts too. I mean, a lot of this can go with ghosts. It says compulsive behavior. Again, it says sense of rage and hostility. Basically compulsive behavior. I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean demonic activity. We all have things that we're addicted to, things that we like to do and stuff like that. And I mean, that can be interpreted as compulsive. Like me, I'm addicted to chocolate. That's not a compulsive behavior. It's just something I've a bad habit I picked up. So, and people have other compulsive behaviors, but not all of them are bad. So you have to kind of use your judgment. Says extreme restlessness in a spiritual environment. Now, that means like if you walk into a church or you walk into a person's home and their house has been blessed and they have crosses all over and you're just like fidgety, you don't want to be there. It's like, I got to get out of here. I don't belong here. And you don't know why. Well, most of the time, people at that point are probably in the early stages of being possessed in some way or manipulated in some way where they know something's going on and they just, whatever is kind of pulling their strings, if you will, doesn't like that environment. So it wants you to get out. So the compulsive desire to hurt the body. So again, would be like cutting or doing bad things to yourself, maybe burning yourself or doing other things. This is not good. I mean, there are disorders that have this, there's disorders that deal with this and stuff like that. So, I mean, does it mean it's demonic? I mean, you'd have to have other symptoms, and I'm going to call these symptoms more than anything else. Hearing voices, God, as a kid, all the way up till I was about maybe 13, maybe older than that, just nonstop, I would hear whispering. Drove me nuts, especially when I was trying to sleep. I had to sleep with some kind of something on. My mom finally, when I was about 5 or 6 or 7 or however old I was, she gave me a Walkman. She put a tape in there and put the headphones on my ears, push play, and I was able to sleep finally. And then, I'm sure there's other people out there that men had to break me of this habit. I always had to sleep with the TV on. Always had to sleep with the TV on. I had to have some kind of noise because I just couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep with the not only the shadows darting around the room, but also the talking or hearing things, and that allowed me to go to sleep. Now, over the last 10 years or so, I don't have that issue anymore. When I go to bed, I basically put some earbuds in, and sometimes I watch a movie or watch a show or listen to music if I want to. Sometimes I'm so tired by the time I get home from work, I basically just crash. And so, again, you guys got to use your own judgment on that. Hearing voices, I mean, that's a sensitive person. Sensitive people, some sensitive people, not all, and hear voices. I mean, I occasionally hear things. I hear a voice, or I'll hear this, or I'll hear that. So anyways, paranormal experiences. Oh God, this is totally me. Supernatural activity like disappearing of objects, strange things move in your home, or other strange manifestations can be clear evidence that demons are influencing your surroundings. Guilty as charged. But I don't think that a lot of the things that are going on with the movement and stuff, I don't think it's all demonic activity. It's kind of like walking into woods and hearing, and I'm going to use a different analogy, hearing a tree knock and then hearing a scream and then hearing something walking, but you physically can't see it. And, maybe you record it on audio and you bring it back to somebody that, spends like a hunter or somebody that spends a lot of time in the forest, and they go, okay, that's this. Okay, that's that. But I don't know what that is. A lot of these things can be explained away. But like I said, I have stuff move on me all the time. I have an entity that just loves to make things fall. I get my hand slapped from time to time. I get things just moving on their own. It's so annoying. Frustrates the hell out of me most of the time, and that's the reaction I think it wants. But again, I say I rebuke you, Satan, and you need to go away. But again, I don't want to get religious on this channel, and I apologize to anybody who's listening who is not religious and they're just rolling their eyes going, whatever, man. So, anyways, this is extremely important. If you're experiencing some of these things or a few, 4 or 5 of these things, more than likely, it just means that more than likely you're sensitive. I don't want to get into religion here, but sometimes religion can be a little dramatic as to what's really going on. I know the Catholic Church, studies the paranormal. They also study UFOs and other things, and Bigfoot too, from what I hear. I've heard from people that have been to the Vatican, that have talked to high up priests, that they do a lot of stuff that we don't know about. And anyways, so yeah, I mean, just if you want to come on here and take a look, I'm not going to go into this other one here, but take a look and see if any of these things kind of ring a bell. It could just be that you're sensitive, and sensitive people right now are under attack more than anybody else. If you know somebody is sensitive, just be patient with them. They're probably experiencing quite a bit of stuff, might be like an emotional overload. Not only are the demonic entities really active right now, everything else is really active as well. Human spirits and angelic entities are also very active right now. They're moving the puzzle pieces around to, for whatever reason, they're moving the game pieces around, and stuff like that. So I can't talk too much about that. But like I said, with everything, now I got the chills all down my arms. Yeah, I guess I wasn't supposed to say that. Yeah. So, anyways, basically, just keep an eye on people that are sensitive. If they need to talk to you, please be understanding. Please just sit there and listen to them and acknowledge what they're saying. They might be experiencing things that you can't explain, or you just think that they're completely nuts, but they're, to them, they're really experiencing it. Spirits and demonic entities and other entities, angelic entities, they manipulate our bodies. They do. They manipulate us. And if you're listening to this podcast, you're probably somewhat interested in the paranormal. And so you're probably believing. But I kind of wanted to share this with you because I've experienced quite a bit of this, not mental oppression, but a lot of these things on this list I can check off, unfortunately. But that's the life of a person who's sensitive. Sorry about that. Anyways. All right, guys. So this is getting a little long. If you'll do me a favor again, go on to our YouTube channel or any platform that you're on. If you're on the audio platform and if you're on our YouTube channel or our Rumble page, again, please hit the thumbs up. Please hit the subscribe button, and please hit the notification bell, and please leave us a comment. Please be nice. Even if you hated this show, please be nice and leave a comment, and more than likely I'll probably respond. And I'll take whatever I'd take constructive. I'd have to take whatever constructive criticism there is. I try and take it and spin it into a positive way, and hopefully fix whatever's going on. So, anyways, I'm just rambling on. But thanks, guys, for listening. We really appreciate you. If you want to donate, again, you can buy us a coffee. If you're interested in being part of the show, the Bigfoot show that I'm trying to put together, whether you want to be in the background, the production side of it, or you'd like to be in the paranormal side of it, we may not only go after Bigfoots. We might go after other cryptids. We might explore other things too. I want to make this a show like nothing else out there. And then it'll probably be on our YouTube channel or Rumble channel. And more than likely, it would be on a few other channels as well, friends' channels as well, for the people that are in it that have YouTube channels or Rumble channels. They may have it on their channel as well. So if we're lucky enough, maybe we'll get picked up by Netflix or something like that, and we'll have an actual show on TV. I worked with producers in the past. So anyways, all right, guys. Well, thank you guys for listening to me ramble on for however long it's been. I appreciate you. Like I said, if you need help, if you're sensitive or psychic or medium or anything like that, or you're just a normal person, you're experiencing strange activity that you can't explain and you feel like you're under attack, get some help. Don't wait. Feel free to ask questions. Like I said, all of our contact information is down below. That's why I spent that much time showing you all the different ways to contact us. Like I said, even if you're not in our state or even in our country, we can try and work on trying to help you by getting you somebody else to help. So we do not charge for our services. Like I said, if you want to make a donation, we're very grateful, but we do not charge for our services. So, feel free to contact us. We'd love to chat with you. If you want to come on the show, you want to be a guest on our show, we'd love to have you. As long as you have a paranormal experience you want to share. And we will catch you guys on the next one here. If I can get this to stop sharing. Sorry about that. All right. So, I forgot to say, the reason I have this on like this instead of the normal background is people wanted to see the office. We have a crap ton of Star Wars stuff, and that's not a real Ouija board, by the way. It was just kind of a fun prop that we saw. Anyways, all right, guys, you have a great rest of your morning. This is going to come out on Sunday morning, probably later this afternoon or later this morning. So you guys have a great Sunday, and we will catch you on the next one.